coming saying, origin is a species of evolution. So when somebody... Yeah, you did. I heard you. And I was like, what? Your camera's saying go evolution?
No,
Maybe you're being ironic or...
No, I didn't say go evolution. I took a picture and I said, everyone say Darwin. And I said, Darwin.
Oh, okay. Well...
I did say that.
Okay, I'm sorry that I misquoted you. But anyway, so when a passerby is getting that book, and they don't know about you, and they haven't seen your videos, and they don't know who you are, they think, oh, okay, this is the book. So when they read it, they are not aware that the information is coming from a group that has a special interest in dissuading people from evolution.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
It's like hidden propaganda, which you, like, atheist groups would never, like, hand out the Bible saying, like, this is not true, and this is all the scientific information.
I think you would have been more honest if you had just distributed the process by yourself.
Say it louder.
I think you would have been more honest if you had just distributed the introduction by yourself.
I heard you earlier.
Okay.
So here's my thought.
Hello.
I used to be an atheist. I studied evolution and the Darwinian, the neo-Darwinian synthesis to the point where
I was a little uneducated.
I'm convinced that it's not science, that Darwinism is atheism masquerading as science.
Darwin wasn't an atheist, actually. He was really hesitant to publish his work because he knew that it would go against the belief of, you know, the church.
And I kind of feel that's undermining the faith of people who do accept evolution and who are
Why
Christians.
do I believe he wasn't? Because he has journals and because, like, you know, he took a long time. It wasn't until Wallace said, like, hey, check this out. And he's like, oh, boy, you know, I should probably publish what I'm doing.
Okay. Here's the other interesting thing. I believe that Darwin was absolutely that the end game was to make God, was to remove God from the worldview of the. I think that was his end game. And if you read, I don't know if you've read the introduction yet.
No, I have not yet. But I will.
You'll find maybe you haven't read it.
I probably have never read what you wrote.
I think that it is very dishonest, extremely biased for atheists in the name of science to push an atheistic view, and they use Darwin in order to do it.
I don't understand how you're combining atheists, because not all scientists are atheists. Like, I would not say I'm an atheist,
Yeah, right.
but I don't understand
Genome
that.
Project.
I don't understand when you just propose those things. Like, why is science and atheistic endeavor? Like, I don't understand that.
Okay,
I don't understand the logic.
Why is science an atheistic endeavor?
Yeah, and why is it particularly...
You'd have to ask the leading proponents of atheism being taught in the science classes to answer that question. Look at Dawkins, for instance.
I love Dawkins.
Okay, so
But
if you look
as a
at
science,
Dawkins,
yeah.
but if you look at those who are the loudest proponents for Darwinism and evolution, you'll find that they are absolutely on the mission to demonstrate that God is irrelevant and doesn't
I think
exist.
the difference
And
is what Dawkins argues is that God and science should not be in the same argument, because science is based on evidence, whereas religion is based on faith. And so they don't explain...
But Darwinism is extremely based on faith.
Not
on
really.
evidence.
It's based on a lot of evidence. He made assertions that were based on faith he didn't have evidence for yet, but he had a lot of evidence. Later on, now scientists are, you know, doing research, and in fact, current scientific thought doesn't accept plain Darwinian evolution. In fact, now there's like a lot of different...
It expanded over the years.
It expanded.
Especially with genetics and everything.
So Darwin was the basis, but it is not what actual evolutionary biologists, you know, go with. And in science, there's no like, okay, this is the final absolute truth. It's always changing because there's, you know, there's always evidence either against it or that shows different things.
So I understand that. So I'm pro-science. I love science.
Why not the specific branch of it? Because
which branch are you referring to?
I'm referring to biology. Except the part where it says that, do you believe in microevolution?
You're talking about adaptation?
Yeah, that's why you get a different vaccine every year because, you know. Okay.
Yes, but to extrapolate that into speciation and macroevolution.
No, not if you accept that it does take. Okay, so if you believe in microevolution, you believe that it continues happening. It just doesn't happen in like 2 minutes and then it's done. It continues happening. The Earth is not 6,000 years old, and even if it were 6,000 years old, in that span of time, continuous microevolution would have added up to something, right? Even if you believe the literal biblical idea that the Earth is not old, it would still add it up, not to what we have here.
I understand what you're saying. So I think adaptation within a species, they continue to change over time, but we don't see speciation as a result of adaptation.
Because we don't have enough time, and in fact they are.
Okay, but then you have to concede though that that's a presupposition that you're assuming that it's happened, even though we don't have enough time to observe it.
Well, it's not. It's because of geological evidence. Like what happens in science is you bring different branches of knowledge together, and it's not isolated. You don't just say like, okay, biology proves it, because biology doesn't prove anything. There's evidence of certain biological processes, but just combining that with geology, physics, and other sciences,
I agree.
yeah, then you combine this knowledge, right? And that's how you think like, okay, if this is happening now, and if we know that the Earth has been, you know, this old, and these tectonic changes have happened, all of this knowledge, then it is a safe, logical assumption to make that conclusion, to say like, this microevolution has been happening for this long, and it's added up. Whereas with a belief in a certain faith, particularly in this case the Christian persuasion, all the evidence you have is based on the Bible, and that would be circular logic because you think, I believe in the Bible because the Bible says it's written by God. It doesn't. There's no outside body of evidence. There's no conjecture.
That's not true.
What other bodies?
Geology.
Okay, so history.
Do you mind if I ask you a question about geology, really quick?
Hang on.
Okay, sure.
Sorry. How does history disprove evolution?
How does history disprove evolution?
Yes.
Well, history's only. Well, I didn't say history disproves evolution.
Okay, so give me another line of evidence other than the Bible that disproves evolution.
I would say evolution disproves evolution. If we're talking speciation, I would say that Darwin's theory, and any theory, does not sufficiently account for speciation apart from the existence of God. You don't find it in the fossil record.
Okay, what about the difference between bonobos and chimpanzees, which are very similarly related? They just have. Okay, bonobos are just like chimpanzees, except they're smaller and they are more friendly with each other, whereas chimpanzees are like very aggressive.